Hello and welcome to our reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the Revoltech Pixar figure collection, Mr. Incredible. So yeah, this is a smaller style of Revoltech figure. There are several things in this wave, all from Pixar movies. They have like Sully from Monsters Incorporated, and that car from Cars, and Nemo from Finding Nemo, and Wall-E, and some other things. But this is the most superhero-y one, and just probably the one that I thought was one of the cooler ones. So I decided to pick it up, which cost me about $5, because for whatever reason they're ridiculously cheap, especially for a Japanese import like Revoltech. So yeah, very nicely articulated, using all of the unique revolver joints and things of that nature. Lots of interchangeable pieces and things of that nature as well. The Incredibles, really cool movie, and something that Pixar needs to make a sequel to, and they are talking about maybe doing that at some point, so that would be cool. Actually, just watched The Incredibles last night, so I could remember how awesome it was. It's still very awesome. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and zoom in on all the articulation. Alright, here we have Mr. Incredible. First off, let's just do a quick little size comparison. I've got a Marvel Universe Wolverine here, and considering the fact that Mr. Incredible was probably like 7 feet tall, he fits in very well with Marvel Universe scale, I think. Which also means he'll fit in pretty well with that STCC Buzz Lightyear that Mattel made, which I've also reviewed. So he would probably be good for that scale if you wanted to just sort of have him in that sort of scenario. Alright, getting Wolverine out of the way, let's take a look at Mr. Incredible himself. He's got his head up here, which we'll zoom in on in a minute, as well as his alternative face. His suit is mostly red. This is his second suit. His black and blue suit, I personally think, looks cooler, but they decided to go with the red one as it was the most prevalent one in the movie. Mostly red. Got a black collar there, black gloves. He's got his Incredible symbol there on the chest. You can see down there on the trunks. I have a yellow waist bit and a black trunks, and he has black boots. And on the back, pretty much same sort of thing. Not exactly a heavily detailed figure, but that's what he looked like in the movie, and that's really all that matters. You can also see that he has an open hand here and a fist hand on that side. He comes with 2 of each of those, so they're interchangeable. I just figured I'd go ahead and put 1 of them on each hand to get that out of the way a bit quicker. Now, let's zoom in on his head, as well as his alternative face sculpts. Alright, here you can see Mr. Incredible's head sculpt. He's got his hair up here at the top, which is receding a bit. He's got his eye mask. If you think his eyes look a bit wonky, you're probably correct. Like some other more recent Revoltech figures, most noticeably that Woody that people like to take pictures of. This has the movable eyes, so you can sort of adjust them. They're a bit difficult to get to because they're rather small, but you can move them around so he can be looking in any particular direction. They're a bit off right now, but that's not the figure's fault, that is mine. He's got his nose, and this is a sort of smiling face. His other face right here is very similar, but it's a bit more angry. It also has the articulated eyes, and it just sort of snaps onto the front of the head, where the other one is. You can see in the back there how the eyes have like little pegs and you have to move those around. It's a bit difficult to get them in there just right. If it was a bigger figure, I think it wouldn't be that big of a problem, but it's hard to fit my fingers in there, and I don't have any real kind of tool or anything to do it with. So yeah, that about wraps that up, so let's look at the articulation. Alright, articulation-wise, all of Mr. Incredible's joints are essentially revolver joints, which means they rotate on both ends of the joint and have ratchet hinges in the center of them. So his head will tilt up and down, rotate around. Shoulders are very nice, going up and down, forward and back, very good range of motion there, as well as the rotation and hinge in elbows, rotation and hinge in the wrists. Of course, they are a bit difficult to do sometimes because they will come out. Very nice diaphragm joint, rotating, hinging in and out. Legs, same kind of thing, hinging in and out, rotating. Knees, same sort of thing. The ankles are the only ones I'm not sure if they're revolver joints or not. They just seem to sort of hinge and swing around at a bit of an angle. But it could just be because they're so small. But since everything else I know is a revolver joint, maybe they are too. It's really hard to tell whenever they're that small. But yeah, his articulation is very good, and you can get him in practically any sort of poses that you want to. Now, apart from the interchangeable pieces, he does come with another accessory, or essentially just another figure, which is the big droid robot thing that he has to fight in the movie on a couple of occasions. But it's not big, it's very, very small. As you can see here, it is shorter than he is. I don't know why they made such a small one, and Mr. Incredible just fell over, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess just so they could have an accessory for him, because there was never a small one of these in the movie that I can recall. And since I just watched it yesterday, I know there was not. But yeah, this thing is alright. It has little ball pegs here for each one of its legs, and you can get the little eye pieces to come out, which is a bit difficult. The way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to crack him open, and one of his feet just fell, at the center, and then you have to sort of push on them with something, and then you get the little eye bits to come out. And that is pretty much what those do, and it has that eye bit on both sides. And you can just sort of clip this back together. All of his arms have a tendency to fall off, as do his feet to a certain extent. He comes with 2 extra little feet. He comes with 2 of these like closed little pointy ones. But he only comes with 2 of those, and he's got like 6 or 8 legs or something. So it's not really enough of them for it to function properly. Now let's clear up this heap of stuff, and we can look at Mr. Incredible's stand. So yes, Mr. Incredible's stand is very similar to some of the other Revoltech stands, except it's circular instead of like one of those weird V shapes. It hinges down here where it attaches to the base, hinges right above that, and hinges up there. They're all revolver joints, which means they can all rotate and hinge to your liking. And they plug into a little hole on Mr. Incredible's back. Now, surprisingly enough, Mr. Incredible can actually stand up without this, even though I was almost certain he wouldn't be able to, because he's got really tiny feet. But if you position him just right, he can actually stand up without this, but this will certainly help a lot. Anyway, that about wraps it up for everything related to Mr. Incredible. Let's look at his packaging. Alright, Mr. Incredible's packaging is sort of just a standard blister card. You got pictures of the other figures up there at the top. Pixar figure collection, Disney, Pixar, some logos, picture of Mr. Incredible down there at the bottom, as well as some things that I cannot read. Series number 4. This is the 4th figure in this wave. Lots of posing, black and white pictures on the back. A little diagram of the revolver joint that they seem ever so keen to put on everything that they make. And just some stuff that I can't read, and that is pretty much the extent of it, as well as showing the other figures down there at the bottom, which are Nemo, Wally, Lightning McQueen, Mr. Incredible, Woody, and Sully and Boo. So, yeah, it's pretty decent for in-package display. Huge window, so you'll be able to see everything. But I decided to take it out for reviewing purposes, and also it would be pretty cool to display that way. So yeah, in or out of package display, very acceptable. So yeah, Mr. Incredible. Alright, that wraps it up for Mr. Incredible, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all those sorts of things if you enjoyed my video. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.